Así que en 10 minutos tú vas y lo buscas. No se las aquí sí que no se las mascó. News. More Leggett. Jennings. Livingston. Mason. I would assume that's Greensboro, right? And we're underway. Second game of the afternoon. Greensboro College versus Muhlenberg College. And we are underway here from Coliseo Rubén Rodríguez in Bayamón, Catedral del Baloncesto Boricua. And first three-pointer for the Mules goes down, and they strike first, 3-0 quickly on. Greensboro going quickly into the paint and cannot connect as the Mules head back into offensive territory quickly. It's Emily Unger with the ball. And there's Ari Pratt getting her shot swatted away. And is off of hers, last touch. And, Lauren Livingston orchestrating for Greensboro, taking the screen, heading straight to the cup and drawing the foul. And she'll head to the free throw line. Livingston hitting the first. She's joining the starting lineup by Jennings, Carly Mason, Moore, and Leggett for Greensboro. As Rachel Saxton, Ava Connolly, Caroline Horst, Emily Unger, and Ari Pratt rounded up for the Mules. Ball out of bounds. Horst will inbound to Saxton. Saxton driving, kicks it out. Ari Pratt with the short jumper, no good. And Livingston comes out with it after the board. And a quick trigger by Carly Mason, a little short. And the Mules quickly into offensive territory. Ava Connolly and Saxton orchestrating for the Mules. Connolly nearly stripped. Ari Pratt comes out with a drive. Can't hit on the right-handed layup. Livingston quickly into offensive territory. Wadlia Moore corralling the rebounds and nearly turned it over there. So Moore, Leggett, and Mason round up the front court, and Mason will take a seat right now. As Aaliyah Whiteside will check in for the first time today as the first substitution of this game. Whiteside trying to split the double team there. Livingston called for the offensive foul. Very well sold by Rachel Saxton. Connolly into offensive territory. And Ava. This is to Emily. Emily to Ari Pratt, and Saxton comes out with it, and Saxton with the tough right-handed layup on the left side of the rim, I might add. A little reverse action. And Avery, two more. her first bucket of the afternoon off the Jennings feed, and Connolly taking the screen. Came out wide open. I think she didn't realize how wide open she came out from the screen. Now Whiteside on the other side for three. Quick trigger, no. Ari Pratt with the rebound to Connolly. And Connolly dishing to Emily Unger, and Unger is swishing the three. An 8-4 Mules lead so far as Livingston comes out with it. Dishes to Jennings, and Jennings says, anything you can do, I can do better. Connolly with the ball for the Mules. It is a 1-point lead for Muhlenberg College. Ari Pratt to Emily Unger to Connolly. Connolly with the ball. Connolly roaming, driving, has to put it up. In trouble. Ari Pratt put it up, but more there for the swat. And a 30-second shot clock violation. Excuse me. Remind you that this game is being played to 4 quarters. As Jennings will take a seat and Moore will take a seat for Greensboro. Mules with the first substitutions of the game as well. Avery McNulty checking in. And quickly, Aaliyah Moore with a beautiful move in the lane as she just checked in, and Saxton trying the three and airballs it as Livingston comes out with it. And Livingston put on a series of moves but lost it. Ends up in the hands of Whiteside, and Whiteside swishes the three in the semi-transition game. Emily Varnholm also in the game for the Mules. And here's Ari Pratt. Gets foul on her way to the rim. By Leggett, and there will be a timeout. Couple of free throws. My apologies to any of the players, teammates, teams if I mispronounce any of these last names. Handwritten is not my strong suit. Missing the first one. Swishes the second one. And more to inbound to Livingston. Livingston to Whiteside. It's pretty hot. She's drained 2 threes already. They dump it on down low to Paul Moore, but that shot is swatted away. 15 remaining on the shot clock. 5 minutes already gone by, and the alley-oop inbound is good. And Takira Leggett getting her first bucket as Whiteside pounding McGrath, and she forces a turnover as Moore comes out with it to Livingston. Livingston with the pump fake. Livingston driving left, and she gets to the cup, but a little too strong. And out with it is Emily Vaughn. Vaughn trying to push McGrath to Ari Pratt. And Ari Pratt on the baseline cannot get it to go. And they're going the other way. Livingston push it. Ooh. Aaliyah Palmore is starting to put her fingerprints all over this game. Excuse me, that was Takira Leggett with the move in transition off the Livingston feed. As Greensboro is back on the offensive end, and ooh, Leggett could not get that reverse to go. To offensive territory, McNulty to Ari Pratt with the short jumper, no. Rebound Leggett, and we're all to the other way. Livingston with the ball to Palmore. Palmore, and she is fouled on her way to the basket as she was making a move. Good on the first one. Aaliyah Palmore missing the second one, but there is more with the rebound. Ball out of bounds on the wild shot. Palmore going to take a breather, but she came into the game and immediate impact off the bench early on. 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter of action, second game of the afternoon. As Megan Winters for the Mules controls the ball as she just checked in. And here is McGrath missing, but she gets her own rebound and she pulls up again, and no good on the long two. Jenna Stockfurther for the Mules as well. As Moore pulls up for the short jumper, no good. Maya Fitzgerald also in the game for the Mules. And ball out of bounds, last touched by Greensboro. Nope, intercepted by Greensboro, and Greensboro up and running, pushing, as here's Jennings, short on the jumper. Harley Mason also back in the game. Reminding you, we are live from the Puerto Rico Clásico basketball here from Coliseo Rubén Rodríguez. The Mules started off hot, but they've cooled down, and now Greensboro is on the attack. As Leggett feeds her teammate inside, and she goes to the move and beautifully off the glass. And don't look now, but Greensboro's up by 10 and looking to add to that, putting a lot of pressure on the ball here. Fitzgerald driving to the lane and getting fouled. Checking into the game, back into the game is Ava Connolly for the Mules. That last basket was by Azuria Barrino by Greensboro. A beautiful move on the lane, but here, costly turnover by the Mules as Connolly stepped out of bounds. So Whiteside, Aaliyah Whiteside taking over the point guard duties for the Greensboro. And Jennings nearly lost the ball, and she did as she committed a foul on the loose ball. Minute remaining here, minute 4 remaining here, first quarter of action. Ava Connolly will try to set up the offense for the Mules. And Eric Pratt, who checked back in, getting the feed from Saxon and laying it in off the glass. Series of substitutions coming in for Greensboro right now. So Whiteside passes to Jennings. Mason will try to three, and she switches it. Harley Mason with the three-pointer. Ava Connolly with the ball to Eric Pratt. Swing it around the perimeter. Connolly ends up with it. Looking, picks up her dribble. Now Saxon with the ball. Saxon to Eric Pratt, driving the lane. And personal foul as she was driving into the lane. Here comes a series of substitutions for Greensboro as Palmore back into the game, along with Livingston and Moore. Eric Pratt to shoot a couple. Short on the first one. And cannot connect on either one. And Livingston back into offensive territory for Greensboro. To Palmore. And that'll do it for the first quarter of action. Greensboro leading by 11. Ya nos ampliaron eso otra vez. 11-point lead for Greensboro as more inbounds to Livingston. They swing it around, handoff, and Leggett ends up with it. And she goes off strong and gets the foul. And she looked at that referee because that whistle was a little late. She was like, hey, I got bumped. And Leggett finishing off the N1 play. And Connolly to Eric Pred, the Mules on the offensive side, trying to stop the bleeding. As Caroline Horse and Connolly turn it over, and Moore takes it all the way to the cup and cannot finish. And quickly, the Mules trying to take advantage of the missed opportunity by Greensboro. And Eric Pred is doubled. And a foul called on Carly Mason. And she'll take a seat as Jennings comes back in. And Livingston, putting pressure on the inbound, nearly came up with that steal. So the Greensboro pressure is starting to get to the Mules. Saxton to the three-pointer, no good. And Palmore high up for that rebound as Livingston comes back in a hurry. Dishes to Jennings, quick trigger, no good. They battle for the rebound. And Caroline Horse comes out with it. She dishes to Connolly. Connolly back to Horse. Horse gets all the way to the cup, cannot finish, and Livingston comes out with it after Palmore corrals the rebound. Jennings driving to the lane, off the glass. Couldn't go, hit the deck hard. And now the Mules back into offensive territory. Saxon dishes to Eric Pred beautifully on the give and go. And the Mules get their first basket of the second quarter. Hasn't been pretty so far for the Mules on the offensive side. And the Greensboro offense has just been clicking. Livingston, Lauren taking the screen from Palmore, pulls up for the short jumper. Nice. Lauren, the mid-ranger. Supposedly a lost art. I don't know about that. Connolly to a short jumper, trying to answer back, cannot hit. As Livingston back into offensive territory. Leggett will try a three, no good. And Jennings with the long rebound. Over to Livingston, who entry pass to Moore, and no good. And in the break, Caroline Horse. And that is an offensive foul. She was waiting for her. Easy call for the ref right there. And Mules cannot afford any more turnovers. They're already down by 14. As Avery McNulty checks in for the Mules. And Maya Fitzgerald as well. Lauren Livingston is the inbound from Moore. Connolly trying to put some pressure on Livingston. And Maya with the good hands, but couldn't come up with the steal. Moore to the step back, no good. And Connolly corrals the rebound off the air ball. Up ahead to Fitzgerald, and there's Leggett on the recovery. Good hustle by Leggett, who's got her fingerprints all over the game. A couple of deflections, a couple of buckets, a couple of rebounds. Here's McNulty to Maya. Fitzgerald driving with the 1-2 and beautifully lay in on the sidestep action. Livingston hands off to Jennings. Jennings looking, roaming, keeping her dribble alive. 2 more. Free throw jumper, no good. Rebound by McNulty after that Vaughn tip. And Connolly to McNulty, who will pull up for the 3 and no good. And Leggett comes out with it. Hands it over to Livingston. Greensboro really taking their time on the offensive side, not forcing anything. Takes the screen, pick and pop action with Moore, and no good. But Palmore there for the rebound. And there seems to be an off the ball foul here. It's a loose ball foul out here. Asuria Barrino coming back for Greensboro, and so is Whiteside, who is red hot to begin the game. Let's see if they go back to her. Inbound, handoff to Livingston, and Livingston with the stroke. It's a 3 for Lauren Livingston. Greensboro up by 15. There's McNulty trying to answer back, cannot, but Maya Fitzgerald is there for the offensive rebound, and Maya almost tried it herself. Maya from Vaughn to McNulty. McNulty with the fake, pulls up. And no good on the Emily Vaughn triple. And Connolly took a scary shot there from Barrino. Hopefully she's okay. A bit of a loose ball foul there. Both teams playing really hard, going at it. Greensboro a little bit more poised on the offensive side. And here we go. And, Emily Unger is back in the game for the Mules. There's Vaughn, so Emily to Emily, and a near turnover. Kira Leggett, active. He's everywhere. It's Connolly. Connolly with the ball, being hounded by Leggett. Connolly attacks, gets to the heart of the defense, draws the foul, and she'll go to the free throw line. Connolly will shoot a couple. Switches the first one. And good on the second one. Try to stop this bleeding here. As Abigail Sheetal checks in for the first time for the Mules. Trying to slow down Lauren Livingston, who's starting to heat up. Lauren to Moore on the block. No good. Palmore with the rebound to Leggett. Leggett thought about the 3. Takes the 3. Makes the 3. Secure Leggett. Sheetal. To Vaughn. Vaughn attacking. Dishes. They dish. Eric Pratt. No good. Whiteside. Greensboro now on the offensive side. And Whiteside hands over to Leggett, who pulls up for the heat check. And no good. Emily Unger with the rebound to up ahead to Fitzgerald, who turns it over. But Fitzgerald manages to recover it over Emily Vaughn. Emily to Maya to Emily as well, but Unger cannot hit from 3. Greensboro back to offensive territory, and Whiteside with a quick trigger, and both teams a little scrambled on offense right now. couple of quick triggers on both sides. And we'll have a timeout. Greensboro leading 33-17. Mules trying to answer back. Shot is off the mark by Cheadle, and Greensboro quickly up the floors. Right side, it's got the green light, cannot get it to go, but Leggett there for the rebound, cannot make it, but Palmore there with another offensive board and a putback, and it is 35-17, it's an 18-point lead for Greensboro, who are playing as the visitors here today. So the Mules are the local team, as Emily Unger cannot connect from the corner. And there is a loose ball foul here on the rebound. There's a foul on number 23, Miss Leggett, who, aside from that, has been having an absolutely superb game. Vaughn will inbound. And the ball ends up in the hands of Emily Unger to Ari Pratt on the block, and she is fouled by Moore. Barrino checking back in for Greensboro. Megan Winters also checked in for the Mules. Ari Pratt rolls and switches the first one. Cannot connect on the second one. It is 18-35. Lauren Livingston into offensive territory, taking the double screen. Dishes to Barrino. This is to Palmore down on the block, and Palmore will go to the free throw line and shoot a couple. Jenna Stockfeather will check in for the Mules. Eric Pratt will take a seat. first one is Palmore. And she makes the second one as well. It's an 18-37 game. A little over 2 minutes remaining here on the second quarter of action. Emily Vaughn with a three, no good. Ava Connolly checks back into the game for the Mules. Sheetal still putting pressure on Livingston. Livingston going left, and try to lay it up, no good. Jennings comes out with the loose ball. Down low to Palmore. Palmore going into her move, and she traveled. So Connolly will set up the offense for the Mules. Under 2 minutes remaining here. The second quarter. As Winners dishes to Stockfeather back outside to Vaughn, ends up in the hands of Connolly, who hits the long two, cut into his deficit. Jennings off the Livingston feed to Whiteside. Whiteside, Palmore, Whiteside. Gets her shot swatted by Emily Unger, and Connolly ends up with it. So the Mules trying to make a little run here before the half is done. Here's Stockfeather with the ball up top, making her move to the lane. Dishes to Sheetal, who cannot hit the left-handed layup. We have a personal foul on Stockfeather, a loose ball foul. And we got free throws coming up since we're in the penalty. So Azuria Barrino will shoot a couple. Good on the first one. And the second one rims out. Connolly comes out with it. Connolly looking hounded by Barrino. Bigger defender on her, trying to make it difficult for her. Dishes to Saxon. Saxon bottled up and lost it on the double team. Whiteside attacking and gets to the cup with a tough shot. The defender draped all over her. As Connolly comes into offensive territory, it is a 20-point lead for Greensboro. A near turnover once more. We got free throws as both teams are in the penalty. Good on the first one. Cannot hit the second one, Megan Winters. And Greensboro comes out with it, and they'll get the last shot if they can get past half court, and they cannot. And that'll be all for the first half of action as Greensboro leads by 19. Giselle Rubén Rodriguez. Puerto Rico Clásico basketball. And here's a quick steal by Moore. Costly turnover for the Mules, who desperately need to get back into this game. Leggett to the move in the block. No good. So Connolly for the Mules to offensive territory. They swing it. Saxon ends up with it. Mid-ranger, in and out. As Livingston to offensive territory. Mason thought about the three, feeds Moore, but she is blocked by Eric Pratt. And Saxon into offensive territory for the Mules. Connolly with the three. And putting pressure on the inbounds. And Leggett to inbound as Connolly trying to put pressure on the ball. And make it tough for Livingston to get into offensive territory. So they swing it over to Leggett. Has a wide open lane into the basket. Feeds Moore. And they quickly get on the board on this second half. Emily shoots the three of Saxon there for the rebound and a second chance opportunity. And Saxon looking. Both teams with their starters, and Saxon to the three, no good, and Leggett fighting for that board. Up ahead to Carly Mason. And Mason with the lay-in. And the lead back up to 20. Connolly, Saxon. Foul call here. And first round of substitutions in this second half. Jennings and Moore will take a seat. And Whiteside and Palmore will come back into the game. Saxon off the screen, no good. And here comes Greensboro College, and Carly Mason off the Livingston feed, no good for the triple. And Connolly quickly into offensive territory, feeds Emily, who takes a three, but no good. And, there's Katie McGrath checking in for the Mules. Leggett, inbound to Livingston, quickly up ahead to Mason. Now with Livingston with it. Connolly with the ball, up ahead and nearly turned it over. Leggett all over the place. Megan Winters checking in for the Mules. Connolly with the ball. Quickly bring the double team, and she turns it over. Livingston with the ball now. Stops for the mid-ranger, no good. And Emily Unger with the rebound. Connolly to Emily to Eric Pratt. Eric Pratt driving baseline, tries the reverse, and no good. And here comes Greensboro. Wild pass to the bench. Quick turnover. Connolly into offensive territory, trying to get something going for the Mules. Have just looked out of sync ever since the end of the first quarter. And here with the high-low move, nice. And Leggett gets called for the foul. Winters was feeding Eric Pred down low. Jennings back into the game. And Leggett will take a seat for Greensboro as McGrath takes a long three and no good, a little too strong. Livingston with the ball. Livingston will pull for three, and that's an air ball. I think maybe a window was open. Connolly, Eric Pret and Unger, and Graff, and Winters. And Winters for three. No good. And Jennings will try a three. And Jennings will hit a three for Greensboro. It's Ginger. Winters hands off to McGrath. McGrath hounded by Livingston. McGrath to Connolly. Connolly takes a three off the mark. And Livingston comes out with it off the Jennings rebound. Quickly to Carly Mason, who airballs for three. Back-to-back airballs. Maybe three-point shooting is not the way to go today. Riley Cassidy just checked in for the Mules. As did Emily Vaughn. Vaughn to Winters. Short jumper. Gets the lucky bounce. Livingston into offensive territory for Greensboro. It is a 21-point lead for Greensboro. And Whiteside a little too strong on that feed to Palmore off the pick and roll. And we have a timeout. Back from Coliseo Rubén Rodriguez. This is your boy A1 on the call for the Victorious Kicks Flow Sports Puerto Rico College Tour. And quick turnover by the Mules, and who else but Leggett on the business end off a fast break, and she gets fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot a couple. We remind you that this is the Puerto Rico Clásico basketball being played right here in la Catedral del Baloncesto in Puerto Rico, Bayamón. Eliseo Rubén Rodriguez. Leggett is good on the first. And it's good on the second. She came the ball today as the Mules are trying to desperately look for some answers. And Vaughn cannot connect on that in and out three. And Leggett on the white side feed. White side with the triple. Vaughn looking, trying to find McGrath, but couldn't, turned it over. Leggett to Jennings on the 2-on-1, and they capitalize. This is a 54-26 lead. McGrath cannot hit the triple, but it will remain Mule's ball right now. As McGrath, Riley Cassidy, Vaughn, now Eric Pratt will take a seat. Winners on the court, and Caroline Horst for the Mules. And a beautiful floater. Try to cut here and trying to gain some rhythm. They need some stops here, but Leggett has other ideas. Last minute dump off for Moore, and that was beautifully executed. McGrath trying to get into Winners, but she was surrounded by green jerseys. White side. Putting the moves, series of crossovers, and hitting up Jennings on the back door through the baseline. So back-to-back connections between Leggett and her teammates. And she's just putting the cherry on top of a beautiful performance here, as Riley Cassidy will try to answer, but to no avail. Leggett with the ball now. Tries her shot at a triple and no good. Air ball. It's Connolly and Fitzgerald will come back into the game for the Mules. Mules coach just trying to see if some sort of combination gives them any type of rhythm here. As Barrino and Carly Mason check back into the game for Greensboro. Fitzgerald. Horst to Connolly to Winners to Horst trying to find Fitzgerald. Miscommunication there and a turnover. This is a 30-point lead for Greensboro with 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Harley Mason with the ball now to Moore putting the moves on defender. Dishes to Whiteside. Whiteside nearly lost it. Whiteside to Areno to Moore. Moore steps back, and she stepped back a little too long. It is a turnover as she steps out of bounds. She attempted the step back three. Connolly with the ball now. Fitzgerald. Connolly nearly on half court. Connolly to McGrath to Fitzgerald. To Winners, to Horst, nice movement. Colony wide open for three. Too strong. And Whiteside with the ball. Try to sneak it past to Jennings. Too many hands there. A little bit of a tough angle. Connolly with the ball now. Fitzgerald back to Connolly. Connolly finds Horst wide open on the top of the key. Cannot connect on the floater. That was as wide open as you're going to be here. Carly Mason with a quick trigger on in transition. No good. Barrino with the rebound to Jennings. To Moore. Good ball movement by Greensboro. Moore with the mid-ranger cannot connect, and Horse comes out with it. Connolly to Fitzgerald, to McGrath, to Horse, nicely executed. The Mules showing signs of life. They can just get a couple stops and put together a run, they might be able to still make a game out of this. Livingston holding down for the last shot, 15 seconds and counting. McGrath trying to put some pressure on her and make her do something. Good closeout, making her give up the ball. Moore attacks the rim, off the glass, no good. And that'll be it. Through three is a 28-point lead for Greensboro over Muhlenberg College. Fourth quarter is underway. 28-point lead for Greensboro. The Mules desperately trying to get back into this one. This is their last chance. And that is a good start to it as they draw the offensive foul to force the turnover. See if they can get on this board quickly here in the final segment of this game. I'll remind you that this is the second of 3 matchups today. And here is the Mules trying to get something going. And Abigail Cheadle with the air ball. Jenna Stockfeather also on the floor for the Mules. And number 31, Emily Ellis, also on the game for the Mules. Lauren to Jennings. Jennings with the 3, no good. Rebound Palmore to Jennings. Out to Leggett, and that shot is swatted by Caroline Horse. Caroline with the amazing recovery. It looked like Greensboro was about to get another second chance bucket. And Connolly into offensive territory for the Mules. Here's Emily Ellis with a rainbow 3, no good, but there is Jenna Stockfeather with the offensive board. Lauren Livingston to Jennings. Jennings gets it back, shoots for 3, no good, and Stockfeather there with the rebound. Quickly ahead to Horst, and Horst is foul on her way to the rim. And maybe the Mules still have something left in the tank. They'll have to be disciplined to get back into this game. So Livingston will take a seat. Whiteside back in for the Greensboro. As is Barrino, and Leggett will also get a breather here in the fourth quarter. So Caroline Horst swishes the first one. Short on the second one, rebound Barrino. And Whiteside will bring it up the floor. Whiteside to Jennings. Jennings to Mason with the pump fake. To Whiteside. Whiteside trying to get it to Palmore. A lot of hands in there. And ball out of bounds. It'll be Mule's ball. O'Connelly trying to orchestrate the offense here, trying to get something going. Taking the screen from Horst, goes to the lefty, and foul called on the play. She'll shoot a couple. First one is off the mark. And misses the second one, but there is an over the back foul called against Jenna Stockfeather. She's active on the boards. Connolly and Sheetal trying to put pressure along with Emily Ellis. And they leave Carly Mason open and misses, but Palmore is there for the board. But Sheetal comes out with it ahead to Connolly. Connolly looking. Caroline Horst had it poked away. Riley Cassidy back into the game. Emily Ellis will take a seat. Sheetal with the ball. She'll attack left, spin, hands it over to Connolly. Connolly hits. Riley Cassidy cutting through the baseline, and a nice running floater there. This is a 23-point lead for Greensboro. Jennings all alone down there. They forgot about her. Sheetal over to Cassidy, who pulls up for the short jumper, no good. Connolly. Carly Mason hitting Jennings on stride, but couldn't handle it. But there's Barrino with the offensive board. She's fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. Missing the first one. And missing the second one, but they managed to get the rebound, and Barrino gets it, and we have a jump ball. Mules into offensive territory. Eric Brett tried to hit Horst there in stride, but pass was a little too strong. Sheetal and Emily Vaughn. Alongside Cassidy, Eric Brett, and Horse for the Mules. Palmore, Jennings, Mason, Barrino, and Livingston for Greensboro. Long three-point attempt by Mason. Long rebound. They managed to recuperate some jump ball. It will remain Greensboro ball. Excuse me. Avery McNulty back in the game. As is Saxton for the Mules. Jennings. Down low to Barrino. There's an and one. So you got slapped in the hand. Barrino will try to complete the and one, and a little too strong. It rimmed out. Up ahead to Saxton, who can't control it, a little bit too high for her. It will remain Mules ball. Vaughn. Down low to Eric Brett. Eric Brett is hacked. She'll go to the free throw line. 5:08 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The 62-35 score. It's been a lopsided game, especially since the second quarter. Eric Brett missing the first one. Makes the second one. She'll take a seat. So will Riley Cassidy. Cassidy. Mason to Palmore. Livingston with the fake. Jennings to Palmore down low. Palmore to the running shot. No good. Vaughn gets the ball from McNulty. Vaughn up ahead to Saxton. Over to McGrath. It's a little too strong on the air ball. And we have a timeout. Nope. Substitutions coming in. We do?
McNulty to shoot a couple. Short on the first one. 4:38 remaining here in the fourth quarter. I might remind you that we still have one more matchup to go today. And too strong on the second one. Rebound Carly Mason. Livingston off to the races. Livingston out to Mason. Mason thought about the three. Passes to Jennings, to Barrino, to Livingston, back out. Barrino, Powell more inside, no good with the left hand. And McGrath comes out with it. Hands it over to Cassidy, who gives it back to McGrath, and she is short on the three. Cassidy set to inbound. Inbounds to McGrath. McGrath trying to put the moves. Hands it over to Winters. Down low. Saxon back out. McGrath with the ball. Driving with the right hand. And nicely done for Katie McGrath. Livingston with the ball to Jennings. Back to Livingston. Livingston puts up the three. In and out. And Saxon comes out with it. Saxon will pull up for the short jumper, and that is good. Livingston with the ball now. It's a 22-point lead. They get a 25-point lead with that Carly Mason three off the Lauren Livingston feed. McNulty tried to the entry pass. Palmore nearly intercepted that, tipped it away. McGrath, the dangerous pass. Tried to hit Cassidy down on the baseline. Saxon will take a seat. That'll probably be it for her. Katie McGrath will also take a seat. Emily Ellis back in the game for Greensboro. Barrino on the court from Greensboro. Number of substitutions for Greensboro coming in. Barrino with a triple. This is a 68-40 game right now. And Winters with the miss. Jennings, a little hook shot. Maya Fitzgerald back on the court as well. Winters on the block. Dishes out to Avery McNulty, who hits the three. A little inside out action. Carly Mason will try another triple and swish. It's a 30-point lead as for Greensboro College. So both coaches here trying to get everybody some reps. As this one is nearly over, very much set as Janice Stockfeather misses the hook shot. So Natalia Atwater right now directing traffic. Hands it to Hooker, who dishes. Jasmine Mitchell, who also checked in for Greensboro. Beautiful move along the baseline by Egypt Alexander, who also checked in for Greensboro. So whole second unit for Greensboro, as well as the Mules right now on the floor. Barrino to Mitchell, back to Barrino. Barrino attacking. No good. Stock feather up ahead. To Riley Cassidy, who got all the way to the cup, but got her shot swatted away and out of bounds. It'll remain Mule's ball. Emily Ellis with the ball now. Off the inbound, McNulty will try another three. A little too strong on that one. Shot a brick. And here comes Nataya. Hands it over to Moore, to Hooker, sorry. Barrino with the ball. To Atwater. Slight difference between game and shot clock. And they will dribble this ball out. And that is it. Second game of the afternoon is in the books. Greensboro putting the pounding on the Mules by 30. And we'll be back shortly.